Ladies and mostly gentlemen, today I'm on my Rayman Monk and we're going to be exploring the Tirisfal Glades and having a look at what it looks like after the Battle for Lordaeron. Now if you don't know, the Battle for Lordaeron is the pre-patch event for this expansion, and it's basically a big all-out war up in the Tirisfal Glades against the Horde and Alliance, with the Alliance trying to take back Lordaeron and the Undercity. So, this is how you currently get there on the beta. Now I don't know if this will be on live, I kind of hope it is. It's kind of funny. Because you've just got, it's just where you get the Zeppelin normally, you've got this little dude here that tells you it's kind of buggered, and I haven't said the word buggered in about 10 years, and you've got this little sign here, and a portal. Now the portal takes you straight into the action, so without further ado, let's jump into the Tirisfal Glades post Battle for Lordaeron. Okay, so at the moment it spawns you right in the middle of the action. Now if you didn't know, the entrance to the Undercity and the Ruins of Lordaeron have had an upgrade in the Battle for Azeroth expansion. Now it looks great, honestly. It looks so much better than it did previously, and it's such a shame that it's gone to waste like this. I will explain what happens when you go over there shortly, but in the meantime we will take a look at the rest of the Tirisfal Glades. Now this is the map that you now get. So it's basically just the previous map, but you've obviously got this kind of scarred area in the middle here where the battle went on. If you have seen people do the scenario, it is exactly the same map as the scenario, as you would imagine. Now you've obviously got the Zeppelin towers here, which are all destroyed, and it's quite a sad sight really. And yeah, you know, you can wait for the Zeppelin, but it ain't coming. So this is Brill. Now obviously Cataclysm Brill. And what happened is, spoilers, at the end of the battle, basically the Alliance bailed out, and because the Horde kind of, they blighted the whole area over at the Ruins of Lordaeron. So the Alliance were like, screw this, we're leaving, hence why the siege tanks are here and there's just no one around. Now I don't know if there are going to be some NPCs maybe hanging around after all of this. I don't know. This area isn't 100% complete, and I'll explain why I think that and what's going on with that. So this is Brill. I think a cool little detail which you may have seen before is this ruined Sylvanas statue with the head and body all kind of ripped off of it. I think that's a nice little touch. So if we head over here, now where I say I don't think it's complete, there is a discrepancy with flying in this area, and there's an issue with water in this area. Now currently you can fly, or I can fly, but when I get into certain areas it dismounts me, and then I can't fly anymore. Now these areas are up here in the Scarlet Monastery, and just kind of anywhere outside of this kind of scar. Now I can confirm, I'm not going to go over there. These areas, all these other areas of Tirisfal Glades are exactly the same as they were previously. They are not affected by this scenario. They're still, you know, you still got the level 20s up in the Scarlet Monastery and stuff like that. And as a fresh undead, I know a lot of people were asking about this in the Night Elf video I did. As a fresh undead, none of this will matter. All the way up to level 109 or even 110 before you do this scenario, the Tirisfal Glades will be exactly the same as they were previously. Now, after that, after you do the Battle for Lordaeron scenario, this is how it changes, but those that think Undercity's gone forever, it is not. All you have to do is talk to Zid Dormi, and she'll turn the whole place back into the original form. Now you'll be able to go back into the Undercity and you'll see all the low-level players. So as a low-level player, you probably won't see that many 120s in the Undercity, but you might see some who have chosen to phase this area back into its original state, which, you know, that's up for debate whether or not that should be a feature of the game. So, as I was saying, discrepancy with water. So as you can see here, there are some ships that are just floating in nothing. They are, it's actually a huge Alliance fleet, and most of the ships that have ever been used by the Alliance are featured here, and I think it's a really cool, oh crap. Okay, that sucked. So word of advice, do not fly over there on the beta at the moment. But obviously once this hits live, there will be water there. You will be potentially able to fly here. I don't know whether they want you to fly here or not. It's not really, it's hard to tell. It is. Depending on which areas you go to, you just can't fly at all. It's just like a non-flying zone. So, I mean, it wouldn't matter either way. Also, the lake here is also run out of water. And you can see there is meant to be water here, obviously with the floating fish. So if we head back over to the Undercity, and I think they've done a really clever way on making players not be able to go into there and kind of making this feel a bit more real, I guess, in a sense, where it's been so blighted that players and NPCs alike will not be able to enter this area. So, what happens? Well, you fly over it. You can fly over it fine, you can have a look what's going on down there, there's no NPCs or anything like that. But as soon as you start going down, you get this plague, and you can see my health is taking a hit. Now this doesn't come up in the combat log. You can't avoid it. You can't bubble it. It's not a debuff. So if you look, there's no debuff on my character. You cannot avoid that. You might be able to heal it, but I don't think you'll be able to out-heal it. And I think that's a good way for them to make it so you can't actually go into the Undercity and see what's happening in there. Because to be honest, it's probably exactly the same. And the reason for that is because they won't have players going into there. It's not needed to be worked on. Now, before we go, I'm going to show you what happens when you do speak to Zidormi. You click her, you press it, the screen goes black, and like magic, you're back in normal Tirisfal Glades, and you can enter the Undercity. And as I said, there will be all the NPCs will be back, and it'll be like it never happened. So that is pretty much it, guys. I think, as I said, you know, I think it might be unfinished. I'm not sure if they will add any more NPCs to this zone post Battle for Lordaeron. I mean, as it is at the moment, it's not too bad. Obviously, minus the bugs with dismounting and whatever. But overall, I think they've done a great job with the zone. Let me know down below what you think of all of this and whether you're actually going to keep it kind of shattered like it is now, or you're going to just put it back to normal Undercity and use Undercity like you would. Now, I don't know about mages. I don't know if mages will still be able to make a portal to the Undercity or anything like that. That's obviously going to be more fleshed out, more towards the launch, which is coming sooner rather than later. So ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it. So before I go, I'd like to give a massive shout out to our amazing patrons and YouTube sponsors. You guys are awesome, and if you'd like to support the channel in that way, links are down below. And also, if you're interested in looking at the burning of Tirisfal, I did a video earlier today, which I'll stick in the top right of the video right now. So if you're interested in seeing the burning of Tirisfal, after the burning of Tirisfal scenario, then it's all down there. So guys, leave a like on this video if you liked it, guys, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't. I also have a Discord channel where we talk about Battle for Azeroth and everything, and there's about 3,000 people in there, so it's a great community. And if you're interested in joining that, all the links are in the description. And yeah, with that, I'll see you next time.